What I didn't show earlier in the video was how I cut an 8-inch step out of square tubing and then an 8-inch extension of that step out of 1/8 inch angle aluminum, 1/8 inch by 1 inch. And I just wanted a bigger step to step on. So we have one at the top, one at the bottom, all welded up really nice, welded on the ends. So they're all gonna be solid. So I just need to clean this up a little bit and then start putting on the cam cleat, figuring out how I'm gonna mount my rope for sure, and paint it up probably before then, or wrap it with some stealth strip, and then put some strips for non-slip strips on the top. We'll see, whatever else I think of. I can put a slot here and a slot here, and that would be very simple to do. Smooth them off and just mount my aiders out there. I'm getting ready to drill the holes to put the standoffs on. I prefer the Novix standoffs to Dano standoffs. I've tried Dano standoffs before on my sticks when I built these sticks, and what I found was that when I put them on the tree, there was always one of the 4 legs that wasn't touching the tree. These go on so they pivot. These will pivot. They go on the back of the stick like this, and when you get to uneven parts of the tree, these will pivot a little bit to find a seating on the tree. So tomorrow I'm going to drill holes, put one here, one down here, and put the standoffs directly through. I've got grade 8 bolts to connect them with, because they're going to go through 1-inch tubing here, 1-inch tubing here, and another 1/8 inch on the angle aluminum that I put on there. The other thing I'm working on, I got the cam cleat here. Of course, I have that marked. I have to drill that in tomorrow. But what I really want to do is figure out a way to attach my rope to the stick without having to just have it wrap around here and then having to do something to keep it from sliding around. I still might do that. So what I'm thinking of doing is, when I make my loop, I'm going to wrap it around this. This is a piece of carbon fiber that I used for climbing pegs a few years ago, and they're really solid. They're really, and they're super light, weighs nothing. And what I'm thinking of doing then is drilling a hole right through here. Let's see if we can get focused. Drill a hole through here to the other side that my rope can go right through, and then have it spliced. Instead of making a loop, make a very small loop that is tight around this little piece of carbon rod, and then sliding my rope through. When I pull it tight, this carbon rod will be tight up against my stick, and then I'll just tape it on there so it stays secure and quiet, or put some stealth strip around it, whatever. I'll be back with some results of that a little later. So I got this 1/8 inch am steel from Eastern Woods Outdoors. I have 17 feet. And Luke Dawdle, I got to give Luke a lot of credit. He's answered a lot of questions for me over the last couple years. And I've hesitated and hesitated to get this one stick thing going. I've got everything to rappel and to SRT and everything else, but I just never made the jump into one sticking. But Now I'm making my one stick because I don't want to spend 300 bucks on a stick. I had leftover aluminum. So Luke told me, now he sells this stuff too at his he's got a website. Look up Luke Dowdle. His handle on YouTube is SRT Saddle Hunting or Saddle Hunter. He has a lot of good videos. He told me to make a 7.5 foot rope to get 17 feet of am steel, 1/8 inch am steel, and to offset them by 17 inches. So I'm going to do that now.
So there's 17 inches there. So I line up one edge with 17 inches, take these back to find my middle, which is the middle minus 17 inch of offset. And I'm going to end up doing it with this piece of carbon fiber in here like I mentioned earlier.
So that's what's going to hold my stick from, or my rope from going through the stick. The rest of this rope is going to be buried all the way through.
So pull this through. Just going to put this in here again, so that's going to get locked down there like that. There we go. So make sure this is the other side. And it is. I hope I didn't make that too tight to be able to get my rod back through there. I may have gotten a little too greedy. Oh, that's good. That's good. So I'm going to leave that right in there. This black am steel makes it a little bit hard sometimes to see what you've done. Which rope went where. Okay, so now this end should be my short end, and it has to get buried. So let's see if I did that right. And it is. I don't have a real long wire here. I'm going to try to get about six or so inches if I can. Put it up through the rope. And I'm going to cut those off. Put these strands through. So I'm just milking it. Okay, there it started. So now it's coming through. Pull the rest of the rope through.
I ended up with a rope that started at 17 feet. You can see how close I was with a 17-inch offset. I don't know how you can get much closer than that. I ended up with 8 feet. So I was thinking it was only going to be about 7 or 7.5 and then tie a knot and it'd end up at 7, but it's 8 feet. So it's pretty sufficient. So I ended up spraying anything that wouldn't get covered with stealth strip. And then I put the stealth strip on the front already underneath. I haven't put it on here yet because that's where I'm going to have to run my aiders through. I just haven't decided what size aider, if it's going to be webbing or rope or what. But I'll have to drill some holes in there for the aider connection. Got the steps from Novix, or the standoffs from Novix. I had to buy 3.5 inch grade 8 bolts to be able to go through all of my hardware here.
Maybe an extra washer, which is good because the little one fits there better. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put my cable in here. I'm going to have to do that from the top. So I'll probably have to take that top one apart again.
Okay. This has to go in here. The nut can go back on. Okay, that is certainly snug enough. When I drilled this, I drilled it pretty much in the middle, and I'm planning on having my aider, or not aider, but this pull cable split between the two bolts that hold the cam cleat on. So I'm kind of looking in there, hoping I can have one half on one side and the other half on the other side of these holes, so that when I put my bolts in, it splits them. Right there, it looks good so far. Give it a test. That looks good. It looks like it did the trick. Okay, so now that's where my cam cleat will be positioned, and when I pull on my cable, and it can go clear into here, but when I pull on the cable, it's going to hit those, it's going to hit the bottom one actually, bottom bolt, and that'll keep it from pulling out. So now the trick to putting these on is to not over tighten, because if you go too tight, these red plastic rings will crack. I've never had one crack. I haven't worked with them before, but plenty of people have had that issue, so be careful. Okay, now I have to find the right size wrench for this. $10mm box end, a 3mm Allen head, Allen wrench.
Okay, it should be good there, not too tight. The head turns freely.
So first we'll put our rope in there, the carbon rod, which will keep it from pulling through. And I still have to put some shrink wrap on the end. I haven't done that yet, waiting for some shrink wrap to come in. Greg Staggs from Staggs Outdoors recommended some marine grade shrink wrap, and I didn't have any, and I didn't really want to order 20 feet of it. So I was asking him about it, and he said, yeah, you could probably split it with somebody. And I said, well, how about you split some of yours if you want to do that? And he's just sending it to me. Great guy, super nice guy. He just said, yeah, I'll send you a couple pieces. And I said, well, I'm happy to pay for them. Yeah, don't worry about it. It should be there Monday. So shout out to Greg. Thanks, Greg. Heck of a guy to do that for me. That's nice of him. So what I'm probably going to do here is just take a piece of electrical tape and go around here to keep this carbon rod in place. And then I'll be able to wrap this right around the tree, go through my cam cleat, lock it in. So let's just put a little electrical tape on there right now. I'll just put enough on there to hold it in place for right now, and then I'll probably, I might use some actual stealth strip on it. Just a little piece of stealth strip to go around it. But all it needs is, it's not weight bearing, it's not holding anything. This tape isn't, other than keeping this rod in place. The stealth strip is mainly to keep the one stick from getting cold in my hand. And I've still got to put a piece on the back side here, which I will do after we try this out. And not because I need the backside camouflage, that's always up against the tree, but just again, when I'm carrying this in my hand and if it's cold out, it makes a huge difference to not have your hand on any metal. Okay, so let's take this outside and put it on a tree. Now I'm going to determine what kind of aider length I need. That's probably going to be about typical height. That's about 7 feet. I could try to get to 8 feet and see if that would work with the aiders I'm going to end up with, and I don't know yet what aider I'm going to end up with. I bought it used from a guy a few years ago. This is a 5-step aider. It's probably not the one I will use, but it could be used. Telephone pole's not the best for biting into. 1, 2, I could easily get up 3, 4 steps and get on there. But let's just in case, I don't want to use that. The nice thing about this is when you get into the top of the tree, it's not always the best thing to have your aider down below you blowing around. So with this particular aider, when I get to the top of the tree, because I'm not going to use my step as a platform, I'm going to carry in my predator platform and put my platform off to one side and use this as a step to get around the tree. But if this is blowing around in the wind, it's going to draw attention, so you can reach down and just take this thing off and pack it away. And you can keep it packed away. I don't have to have anything to stow it on the bottom of my step if I'm walking in. So that might be what I end up using for an aider. I mean, it's simple to step into. It's a little bit longer than some other aiders, but if I weren't using this, I like this. I'm an old guy and I don't like having to lift my knee much past parallel like that. So if I were to go from here, let's measure from my foot up to here is 48 inches. So I would need 48 and divide that into 3 steps. Then that would tell me what I need for my aider. So if I ended up getting like an altimeter or something like that, I can cut my slots into here, run my altimeter straps right up here, and then adjust my steps to the length that I feel comfortable with climbing. I could do 224s, but that's too much. I don't want to step that long. I don't want to take those long of steps into an aider. So, and I like having something, this might be too low. It might not be necessary to have it that low for other than the first step off the ground. But when I'm hanging in the tree and I pull it up, I I don't know, maybe I will be able to get this high. We'll see. I'm going to try one sticking with this aider. And then if I have to make adjustments, then I will. So I think that's just about it. This is a pretty slick little setup. And then I'll figure out what to do with it. If I'm just going to take my rope and wrap it around this way, which I probably will. No need to get too fancy with it. Oops, if it was a little longer, I can come around one more time and into the... So what I'll end up doing is probably go around here, go over the top of it, cinch it in. Pretty easy, easy peasy. So, okay, I'll do another video later of me actually using it and put it up. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was informational and inspirational to somebody. I'm still going to put some, still have to put my sticky tape. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a tack strip type of tape, and it really sticks well. I use it on my climbing sticks too, and it's really great stuff. So I'm going to put that on here too. I'll probably show that in the video earlier. Just haven't done it at this point yet. All right, put any comments below. Like the video if you like it, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks. Skid guard safety tape. Just get this at your local Home Depot or Menards or whatever you have in your state. Oh no. So I'm going to take this, this stuff really sticks when it sticks, so you want to get it in the right place to start with. So what I'm going to do is just take this and bend it over so I don't get it stuck on the wrong end first. And just tap it down. Once you have it started, you can just pull the tape the rest of the way off. And roll it down. I need to start looking at my phone to see if you guys are able to see what I'm doing here. Okay, so now we'll do another piece for the top. Line up your edges. Doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as you're doing it, you might as well do it to look nice. Fill the rest of the paper out, and we'll just go like this. Those are going to be nice and sticky on my feet. All right. The other thing I did is put the plug in that came with the pull-up cable. Put the little plastic plug in there so your cable slides right in there. £2, 15.3 ounces. That tray, I'll try to get it to sit on top. There it is. 3 pounds, 6.5 ounces. So one of the last pieces of the puzzle here is a little marine grade shrink wrap on the end of my rope. I put one on the part of the rope here where it comes through the hole as well, so it won't, the rope won't be touching against the metal at all. I'll I'll be able to easily tell if the metal is wearing on the edge of that shrink wrap before it gets to the rope itself, if there is any type of an issue. But thanks to Greg STAGGS again. Greg's the man. He sent me some of this marine grade shrink wrap. So I didn't want to commit to buying 20 feet of it. So he was generous enough to take 2 sticks, cut them in half, put them in an envelope, and mail them to me. So shout out to Greg. You guys, if you haven't seen his channel, he's got a lot of good videos on one sticking equipment, platforms, climbing sticks, all kinds of things, you name it. The other person that's helped me out a lot over the last couple of years is Luke Dawdle. And he has the SRT Saddle Hunter YouTube channel, and he's got a lot of great stuff too. So those two guys have really put a lot of content out there and have been really helpful. I appreciate what they've done for our saddle hunting community. And I just wanted to give them both a shout out. So I'm going to do a little, this marine grade stuff is the good stuff. It has glue on the inside, so when it melts down, it really sticks. I had regular shrink wrap on here, and it just kept pulling off. I'd put a new piece on, and I'd get a hold of it, and it would just pull off again. There it is. That should do the trick.